Okay, so today we're going to try and figure out why this Dodge Neon, 2005 Dodge Neon, I think it's an SXT, but all of the models can have this issue where your doors are all shut and the door light is still on, and because that happens, usually your dome light will stay on all the time even though all your doors are shut. So today we're gonna try and figure out why that light stays on, which sensor is making it do so. There's 4 door sensors and I believe 1 trunk sensor, but hopefully we'll be pretty successful pretty quick. So I'm gonna get right to it. We got to tear off the door panels, get everything off, and then get to the door latches, because that's where the sensors are for the door being open or shut. So we will continue this video shortly. Okay, so I'm going to start with the driver's side door, simply because that's the door that's going to be open and closed the most often than any other door on the car. So we're going to start with the driver's side door, and you're going to have a screw right inside there in the door handle. You pop the little tab, you got a screw in there, got a screw right here, and then let's see, oh yeah, right here in the door handle, got one right there. And then that's pretty much it for screws. And then you're gonna have to take off the crank, the window crank handle. So in order to do that, typically you'll need like a flathead screwdriver. Actually, these are all the tools you're gonna need pretty much, which is a flathead screwdriver of some sort. I have this nifty little tool here that I bought years ago that is designed for doing this thing exactly, removing and putting them back on. And let's see, and then you need some kind of Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to use my impact gun, and then something flat. I can't seem to have, I couldn't find my my crowbar slash whatever nail puller bar. Something flat is what you need. Apparently I lent it out and never got it back. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove everything, and I'll show you exactly what you do to remove it. After that, then we'll move forward. In order to get the handle off, let's see if I can get a shot at this here. Nope. Camera won't let me get in there. Down inside there, between the handle and the door, when you separate it, right down inside there, you can't see it because this thing, the knob, the handle's in the way, but down behind that is a little tab, and I'll show you in a second, and that's what you got to get off in order to slip the handle crank off. So once you get it off, this is what the little tab, or whatever you want to call it, looks like. The locking pin that holds this handle on. Like I said, it's right behind it. It's the spacer. If you can see right there, that's where the tab goes in. See those little slots? Anyways, Once you get that tab off, you can get the handle off. Careful, because these things do tend to go flying when you get it off, so be very vigilant or careful of that. Anyways, moving on. So I've got my flat piece down behind the door panel, and I've already popped this one here. So I'm going to slide it down. Oops. Slide it down to where the next one is. Pull and it'll pop. Next one, pop. Pull it out like that. Slide down the next one. Pull it out. Next one. This should be the last one in the corner here. Pop it out. Then from there, pretty much just pull by hand. That one's being stubborn. Okay, so once you have them all popped, you can see that the door handle or door panel is flexible, and then all you got to do is lift up on it. Lift up, same thing, lift up, get it up over the lip there. Oh, that's right. Pop this off real quick. Get a screwdriver behind it. Pop it off. So that will allow the rest of the door panel to come off. There we go. Door panel's free. Next, you gotta get both that tab there, pop it off the bar. Same with this one right here, pop it off the bar, and the bars will just lift and slide out of the holes they're in. Once you pop the tabs off like so, and they should just slide right out. I got too much tension on it. That one popped out on its own. I just have too much tension on it. Hold on, there. This comes out. And now there's both your bars. And there's your locking tabs. Okay. Now we have our door panel off, and as you can see, we can go ahead and pull this plastic back. Do it very carefully, because you are able to reuse this sticky black rubber stuff. And now we have access in there. That's where our door latch is, right back there. Here. Supposedly that's where the sensor is. So we're gonna get the crank to the window, put it on here, crank it up, and now I have full access in there, and we're gonna see what we find. I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, so this is the wire right here. Traced it back, goes all the way back and over, down, inside, and goes through, back through to the car, so it can sense whether or not the door's open or not. So we're gonna try and take a look here with the camera. So it looks like there is a switch, or not a switch, connector. So I'm gonna try and pop that off. I'm looking at the wire and I don't see any kind of frayed wire or anything cut or showing wire or anything like that where it could be shorting out. So I'm gonna pop it off and we'll get right back. Okay, so you're gonna need a T30 Torx bit in order to get these 3 bolts here for the latch. This way we can have a closer look at it. These two 10mm bolts. One here and one down here, and these will allow you to take the window guide rail out of the way so that we can pull this sucker out. Once you got the 2 bolts out for that window rail, there it is. Just want to bring it down, slide it down, take it all the way down to the bottom of the door. Just let it sit down there. We're going to leave it for now. And we should be able to... wait. My bad. A couple more things here. Got too far ahead of myself. Okay, so up in here, you can see 2 more tabs, a purple one and an orange one. You want to get those tabs off, get those metal pulls out and metal rods out, and then you'll be able to pull it clear. Once you got those 2, the orange and the purple lockers, plastic locking deals off, tabs, and you should be able to just carefully lift the thing up and out, and there it is. So now we're going to have a look at this and see if this is the one that's going bad. The way we're going to test this is, now that I've got it off, it's just sitting right here, I've got the connector off. The way we're going to test this is I'm going to just get some kind of jumper wire, anything metal that will bend, that will connect one side to the other on this here. You want to connect these 2 pins. These 2 pins get touched together, and the sensor on this latch is bad. Right here, the sensor on this latch here. If that's bad, this will tell you right here, because this just either is an open or closed circuit, and that tells it whether or not the door is open. So it's pretty simple. It just connects a circuit, and when those 2 touch together, it tells it that the door is shut, and that will turn your door light off in normal conditions, working conditions. But in our case, I think that the sensor on this bad boy is bad, and we're going to test that theory right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get my jumper wire. We'll be right back. Okay, so I got my jumper wire. I had to make one, actually. I just found some very skinny gauge wire. It's really skinny. It doesn't matter how thick the gauge is on this, because this is not a high voltage situation. As you can see, the wires on there are very skinny. These are probably about the same size. At any rate, you're just trying to jump from one side to the other. That's all you're doing. Make sure you're using at least this kind of gauge wire, which is what I got. If we were dealing with something that had higher voltage, if you saw thicker wires on there, then obviously you'd want to use something thicker, but this isn't that type of situation. At any rate, okay, we're going to turn the key on. I'm gonna look right here. Okay, wait a minute. My door light went off and I have it disconnected. Now let's go ahead and jump the wire. So jumping the wire, let's see here. 1 second. Okay, I've got one side in. Now I want to get the other in. Okay, now it's jumped. Let's see what it did. Look at that. It says the door's open. So this sensor is bad, and I was wrong about the circuit. When the circuit is closed, when it's a closed circuit, it says the door's open. When it's an open circuit, it says the door's shut. So it was backwards from what I said, but nonetheless, I was right. It says right there, the door is open. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out, and it says the door's shut. So that means that the sensor inside of this door latch right here is bad in telling you that the door is either open or shut. Now what happens when it does this, when it fails, your dome light, I think I explained in the beginning of the video, but at any rate, your dome light will go on like as if your door's open, and then you shut your door and all of a sudden it ain't work, or it ain't turning off. So you have to drive around with your stinking dome light on. And what we did is we ended up having to just pull the bulb out until I had time to get around and look and see which door was the problem. And I was right, the driver's side door, simply because it is the door that opens and closes the most on any vehicle. I would imagine maybe like a taxi cab or something might get more passenger door use than driver door use, but that's circumstance. So at any rate, we're going to go ahead and replace this latch, and we should have an properly operating door. So I can't give you any price range or anything, but I would go on eBay and check it out. That's usually where I get my parts. I will look and search and find something, and I'll put it in the description and let you know where you can find it for what roughly what kind of price ranges and such. And then the installation is obviously reverse of what we've already done. And on this, you can see there's a turquoise and a red tab for this side. So you would just pop those off, get your metal rods out, and switch it over to the new one, and then just reverse what we did and install it in the order we uninstalled it, and you should be good to go. Then you'll have an operating door, a door sensor again. So thanks for watching. Hope this helped any of you that are having the issues with the door light being on and the dome light always being on, whether your door's open or shut. This is if you have any questions or anything, just ask in the comments below, and I'll try and respond in any way I can possibly help you. This is Mark from Random Repairs, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so when you're getting this railing here, so window guide, when you're getting this back up in position, you'll have to look through this hole right here, and you can see right up in there the very bottom of the window. You basically just line up the bottom of the guide with the window, and it'll slide. There's like a little slot that there's this protruding piece that sticks out about 2 inches, and that slides up into a little spot right up in there, and it slides up, guides it right to the window. And then once you do that, your holes should be good to go. You see that focusing? There you go. Your holes should be good there and here. Whoops. And there. Okay, so you're gonna have to hold it there in place with your hand when it's up inside of its little guided slot up there, and get, you know, your other hand and get one of the bolts hand tightened, and then go ahead and tighten the other one hand tightened, and it'll hold it in place. And then all you need is your ratchet and your socket, and you can tighten it on up. There's no need for adjustment or anything like that. They pretty much fall right into place. And I think there's a guide adjustment for maybe the front part of the window, but that's not necessary. Okay, and then after that, then you're back to getting this plastic up. It should just kind of press right back on to where it was. If you get it close, you can just press it right back on. If you live in extremely cold weather, it's extremely cold outside and it doesn't really want to stick, apply some heat to it and it'll definitely stick. I live in Arizona, so it stays pretty warm out here. That goes without saying. Sorry, the camera angle's off. And there you go. So get it pretty much right back to where it was for the most part. This is kind of garfed down here, I like to say. But that's okay. There you go. Now it's time to reinstall door panel. You always start by getting the top lip up and over the top lip of the door here. Just slides in there, locks into place on top, just like so. Get the top part in and it'll just sit there nice and neat. And everything else should pretty much line itself up. If it feels like anything is not, like, you know, if it doesn't feel like it's going down very easy, that means one of the tabs that goes in and pops back in is not properly aligned. So at this point, mine is properly aligned. Everything feels good. So now I'm just gonna go across, hit, 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 hit. It's like popping it back. Chiropractor of cars. Hit, hit. One more pair. Boom, hit. Rub your finger around the edge, and everything should be nice and flush to the metal. And if that's the case, then everything lined up and popped in good. All right, so next, let's see. Next, we're gonna go ahead and pop our window crank on. Now, the window crank, think about two things, or well, here's the thing. You want to think about where, if you have your window up all the time, then you want to think about where, I mean, some of us like have big legs and big knees and stuff, and sometimes for me for example, my knee will hit the crank, the handle part right here sometimes, and that's uncomfortable. So be mindful of that. If you're a driver that likes to have your window up all the time, then be mindful of where you're positioning this, because the window is up right now. Now, if you're a person that likes to have the window down, then just crank it down all the way and then set your knob where you'd like it to be when it's closed or open, sorry. So anyways, just a little tidbit on, you know, where you like, if you care about the positioning of the handle. So now, in order to get the handle on, I have my nifty tool here that has a thing on it where I can just, it has a little slot where I can just slide my little tab on, just like that, and it holds it for me so that when it's on there, I can go ahead and just slip it on and lock it in. There's two other ways to do it if you do not have this tool, both of which are difficult, but you know, you have no choice but to get it back on. And basically one of the ways is getting some needle nose pliers as skinny as you can find, and you know, grab them from the sides like so, you know, grab them from the sides and just get them in there and get it to go on your handle. The slots I showed you before, you can see the little skinny slot there, little skinny slot there. This thing locks in. I'm having trouble here. Let me get it on real quick. This thing locks in like so. There it is when it's locked in. And that's what locks it in. So at any rate, that's your goal, is to get this thing, this tab on there after it's already on there. Once it's on there, you get your tab and you push it on and lock it in, and that'll lock it in. That'll be the end of it. The other way is, okay, so one of the ways, one of the ways is to, with the skinny pair of needle nose, and the other way is you can get this thing to actually stay on here. I'm going to try and do it and pause it real quick, but I'm going to try and get it on there and I'll show you. Okay, just like this. See, it's on there, but it's not going to lock it just yet. As you can see, there we go. I have it sitting just on the edge of the slots. There. You get it just right. And then you pop it in, and you pop it on. I'll just go ahead and do it since I've already got it going here. Make sure, don't forget your spacer. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. And pop it in like that. Pop it on. And the next thing is you get your flat head. You can see the top of it right there. Oops. Get your flat head, and you're gonna try and just pop it down. Top of it, push down. Okay, well, it's on now. I didn't push the tab down all the way, so once I pushed it on, then it actually popped in. So there you go. It's not coming off. One here. Where's the hole? There it is. tab back in. 1, 2, 3 screws, good to go. There's two tabs there. Let's see. Those just line up, get in the holes, snap in. Simple. All right, reinstalled, you're good to go. Hopefully you had success with this repair. God bless and have a good day.